Hola mi amigos, welcome back to Boost Your Income with Bootstrap to WordPress. This lecture is called Cover Your Assets. We're going to be installing our assets folder into our WordPress site. Boom! Alright, and we're back. So this lecture is called Cover Your Assets, and basically what I mean by that is we need to add all of the proper assets, or specifically our assets folder, to our WordPress site, because right now we have no images, we have no styles, we have no fonts, we have no JS, all that stuff. Very important for the overall look and functionality of our website. Specifically, Bootstrap. We need Bootstrap for this site to work the way that we coded it when we did the static version of it. So right here is the static version we coded, and here's the assets folder. Essentially, all I want you to do is just take that folder and copy it over right into your Bootstrap to WordPress theme root directory. So that's one step. We're not quite done yet. So in there, we have the CSS, fonts, images, and JS. We need to make sure that we have everything referenced. Now, when we coded this section right here, when we coded the static site and we built our assets folder, at least when I recorded it, I added Bootstrap 3.2.0, but in the web development world, things always update. So now we're on Bootstrap version 3.3.1. Now, at the time of the recording, I did 3.2.0, but you probably will have already downloaded 3.3.1 because I include it in the course files folder right here, Bootstrap 3.3.1. And that gives us, when you uncompress it, this dist folder with CSS, fonts, and JS. Basically, all I need to do is make sure that my CSS and my JS and fonts are up to date. So you might not need to do this, but I'm going to do it right now just in case you have 3.2.0. So right here, CSS, let's drag in our Bootstrap theme min and Bootstrap min. Pull those over right into our CSS. And we're going to replace both of those. Great. Fonts. We want to make sure those are up to date too. So those glyph icons, we're going to drag those right in here. We're going to replace all of those. And then we have our JS. We have Bootstrap min and Bootstrap. Grab those, drag them in to your JS folder, replace both. Great. Again, like I said, if you're already using 3.3.1, you don't need to worry about this. If you're using any earlier version, go ahead and do what I just did. So drag your assets folder into the root directory of your theme. Great. Now, it doesn't just work that easy. We need to actually reference these. So this is pretty elementary stuff, but we're going to do it. We need to, let's put it under here. You could type all this out, or you could check out your index file here, and you could just basically copy all of this stuff. And we're going to change the paths to all of them. So copy that, paste it right here. Okay. Now let's change this up. I need to reference the assets folder in our in our WordPress theme. And the way to do that is not the way that you are used to. Basically, if you want to reference, you need to reference the root directory of the theme, not the root directory of WordPress. Take note of that, or remember that, because you'll run into many issues if you reference the wrong path of your assets. So this is how you do it. PHP, you use a built-in WordPress function called blog info, and then we can access the style sheet _ directory. That will give us the directory. This is dynamic and will always update. No matter if we're on localhost or you're on your website.com, your website.ca, or whatever it is, the style sheet directory is dynamic and it will always find your Bootstrap to WordPress style sheet directory or whatever active theme you're using. And then after that, / assets CSS. There it is. So now your core CSS should be hooked in. Same thing goes for the rest of this stuff. So let's just copy this and the slash, the forward trailing slash there, and paste this before your font awesome icons /CSS font awesome. Great. And the custom CSS. Basically, this is not going to be included right here because it's built in to WordPress. So it doesn't quite work the same. You can add a custom CSS style sheet, but if you want to keep it simple and use the built-in styles, the style sheet that's already in Bootstrap to WordPress, they just have it simply here outside of assets and just have it right here in the root directory of the Bootstrap to WordPress theme. You don't need to actually do this, but you need to make sure that your styles in your CSS folder are copied into this style.css. So why don't we do that? Delete this. Save what you have so far. Google Fonts should be good to go. Now, what you want to do is open up your style.css file that came with the starter theme. Go ahead and open that up. Now, this comes with the theme. There's a lot of unnecessary styles in here. We're going to clean it up in the next lecture. But for now, basically what we want to do is grab here in our CSS folder, open up custom CSS. This is the CSS we coded in our static site. Copy all of it. Command A, Command C. Copy all of that. And at the end of the style sheet that's provided with the skeleton theme, paste it. Okay, so now it's in there. I'm just going to scroll up to the very beginning of our custom styles here. I'm going to make a note of it. Okay, so we have we have galleries here. This is the previous styles. Here we go. Here's where our styles start. I'm going to add a comment here. And this is going to be, I believe, this is number 13. 12.2. Yeah, we're going to go number 13 in our table of contents here. This is theme specific styles. Not necessary to put this, but we're trying to keep organized here in our table of contents up at the top. So why don't we just add that in here? 13.0 styles. There we go. So now you know number 13 is our theme specific styles. You could scroll down to your theme specific styles. They're all right here. Okay. Go ahead and hit save. Now you could just get rid of your custom CSS file. You don't need it anymore because it's now included in your style.css. However, leave your CSS folder because we have our theme, min, and bootstrap admin CSS. So this is basically just external third-party things. So like font awesome, CSS for bootstrap, fonts for bootstrap. This is going to be our images. And then we have JS for bootstrap and jQuery and our custom JS. All right, so you save that. Let's go back to our header. One more thing we're missing here is under our Google Fonts here. In our static, we have the HTML5 shiv and the IE9 max CDN links. So copy those, and we're going to under WordPress head. It's important to do that because this needs to be last in our head here. So the HTML5 shiv, and that will include the less than IE9 conditional comments here. So if you're looking at this on IE8 or lower, then we're going to serve up some shiv and respond.js. That's going to help HTML5 work on those crappy browsers. If any of you are using IE, I suggest not doing that and using something like Chrome or Safari. Okay, so we're looking good. We covered our assets right over here. We added our updated Bootstrap files and all of that. We made sure our styles from our custom CSS were copied into our style.css, which is the theme-specific style sheet already pre-built into our WordPress head function that comes with our skeleton underscores theme. Great. All right. So good lecture. You did a good job. There's a lot more to do. but it's going to get better and better and better because you're going to start seeing some really cool results. Well, before we end this, why don't we check it out and see if something's changed? Maybe something's broken. All right, here we go. You could see a significant difference. Obviously, it looks like crap right now, but you could see that Bootstrap's hooked in. We have some styles they roughly reflect what we coded. We got our fonts and all that stuff. So we're getting there. I'll see you in the next lecture. We're going to clean up that style sheet and start making this look a bit better. All right, see you there.